So, what if I told you that the secret to mastering the stock market wasn't hidden in some financial report, but in a philosophy that's over 2,000 years old? That's the fascinating idea we're diving into today, taking ancient wisdom and applying it to our very modern and, let's face it, very chaotic markets.
It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? I mean, we spend all this time analyzing charts and reading headlines, but what if the most important thing we need to get a handle on is actually what's going on inside our own heads? Let's find out if a philosophy built for emperors and warriors has anything to teach the modern investor.
All right, first things first. We have to admit that for most of us, investing feels like a battle. But here's the twist. The fight isn't really with the market's crazy ups and downs. The real storm, the one that does the most damage, is the one that's raging inside our own minds. And this, right here, lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the market reality. It's always going to be chaotic. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be noisy. That's a given. But look at how we react. Fear when things drop, greed when things rally, and just pure, unadulterated panic when it gets really messy. These gut reactions, they are exactly what lead to the biggest, costliest mistakes we can possibly make. So, if our own emotions are the real problem, where do we even begin to look for a solution? Well, it's not going to be in some new trading app or a fancy algorithm. The answer, as strange as it sounds, is in an ancient school of thought. The Stoics, you see, developed this incredibly powerful mental framework for dealing with chaos, and it turns out it's perfectly suited for the modern market. This quote from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, "This is the heart of everything we're talking about." Look, he wasn't an investor, but he was an absolute expert on human nature. He knew that real strength isn't about controlling what happens out there, like the market. It's about mastering your reaction to it. And that leads us to the most important Stoic tool of all, the dichotomy of control. Just think of it like the ultimate mental filter. On one side, you put all the stuff you absolutely cannot control. Market prices, economic news, what happens in the world. And on the other side, you list what you can control. Your research, your savings rate, your patience, your discipline. The whole game is to focus every ounce of your energy on that second list and just learn to let the first one go.
Here's a great way to think about it. You would never get mad at the sky for raining, right? Of course not. You just grab an umbrella. Well, the market is the weather. It's going to storm sometimes. It's going to be sunny other times. You can't change it. But what you can do is build a really solid ship, a strong financial plan, and learn how to sail it calmly no matter what the forecast says.
Okay, so that's the big idea. It makes sense, right? But how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Well, the Stoics give us 3 core pillars we can use to build not just a bigger portfolio, but a much more resilient one. So here it is. This is our roadmap. It all starts with mastering your mindset. That's the internal game. Then it's all about shifting your perspective to play the long game, so you can filter out all that daily noise. And finally, and this is the really powerful one, learning to reframe obstacles, turning a market crash from a disaster into an opportunity. Let's break each one of these down. Pillar number 1 is all about a huge shift in where you put your focus. You have to stop wasting all that mental energy on things you can't possibly know, like trying to predict the market or obsessing over daily prices, and turn that focus inward. Start asking the important questions. Is my strategy sound? Am I sticking to my plan? How am I reacting emotionally right now? That's where the real work of investing happens. And that brings us right to pillar number 2, playing the long game. I mean, if you watch the market every single day, it's just this chaotic, stressful, zigzagging mess. It's just noise. But when you zoom out, say to 5 years, 10 years, or even more, all that noise just kind of fades away, and what you see is a clear, steady, upward trend. The Stoic investor literally trains their eyes to see that long-term picture and just ignores the daily drama. Now for the third, and maybe the most powerful pillar of them all. When most people see the market take a nosedive, they feel one thing, and one thing only, fear. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? What if volatility isn't a threat at all, but a teacher? This is a core Stoic mantra. The obstacle is the way. Suddenly, a market crash isn't a roadblock anymore. It actually becomes the path forward. Think about it. It's a test of your discipline. It's an opportunity to buy great companies on sale. A downturn doesn't have to be the thing that crushes you. It can be the very thing that makes you a stronger and a much smarter investor. And this all points to a much, much bigger idea. The real goal of this philosophy isn't just about piling up more money.
It's about achieving a totally different kind of wealth, the kind that can't be touched by a market crash.
The philosopher Seneca just nailed this centuries ago. If your peace of mind is always tied to hitting that next financial goal, you're running a race you can literally never win. You just keep moving the goalposts. True wealth, as the Stoics saw it, isn't found in having more, but in needing less. It's about the freedom that comes from being content with the plan you have.
Okay, so how do we actually build this mindset? It's all about small, consistent habits. It's about pausing before you make a move and asking, is this reason talking or is it fear? It's preparing for downturns so they become expected events, not terrifying shocks. It's simplifying your strategy so you can tune out all the noise. And it's practicing gratitude to appreciate what you have and short-circuit that constant desire for more. These aren't huge dramatic gestures, they're the small, daily actions that build an unshakable financial peace.
So, we'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. What's the true measure of your wealth? Is it the number you see in your bank account? Or is it the ability to sleep soundly at night, knowing that you have a solid plan you can stick to no matter what kind of storm the market decides to throw your way? The Stoic investor already knows the answer.